warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
This will make it into the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
More now. Throwing on first down. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Number 28, Josh Jacobs.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
To throw is Moore on 3rd down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football, because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. What really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Moore. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And down he goes. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Here's Moore to throw on 2nd down.
Man open, that's Henry Ruggs.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
He's tackled at the 20.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 19 carries, 72 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Moore. They're trying to get it to Ruggs, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Point after now from Catanzaro. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 20.
Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early. to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun. Moore.
And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Brian Edwards. A gain of 4 yards. And the Las Vegas 1st down.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Daniil Hunter.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now Moore to throw on 3rd down. That's into the hands of Edwards.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Give them a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Score Vikings 14. Raiders nothing.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Moore. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line.
Alvin Cook, the ball carrier.
Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. With that run, double check my math. Yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, PI gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
And he stopped immediately there.
On the carry.
Corey Littleton there on the tackle. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And the Raiders have got him.
Jameis Winston sacked.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Third and long for Winston. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Malik Collins. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up fourth down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Letting one fly deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on what...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Play.
Defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you... forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line, obviously.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Moore looking to throw on second down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Operating from the gun. Moore.
Got an open man. It's Ruggs.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Off the play fake. Moore.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now come the Vikings. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, there's exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. So we've come to halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
End of the first half with the score, Vikings.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know, it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
No, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
Cook following the penalty. Finding room at the 30 and all the way up to the 33-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
12 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
At the 41-yard line.
This one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays. But I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now left side on the swing pass. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On second down, it's Cook. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 19-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
What you talking about, Rick?
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And the Vikings are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating when we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Point after now from Catanzaro. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped.
Come on, baby. We got to do our job. We got to do our job.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now Moore. Pass incomplete.
And the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Moore now to throw on 2nd down.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Yards to go.
From the gun, Moore. And Jennings has it.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
1st down, Las Vegas.
Moore now. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
He was trying to get it that time to Bryan Edwards.
And it's 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw is Moore. Throwing on 3rd and long.
And he's got the hook up to Ruggs.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Cook. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Moore. And this will be caught backwards. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Moore on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Moore. Now they go screen. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Law had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And 3 at the 17-yard line.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. We're up 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. 1-yard gains are trending the same result on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now Moore on 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Bryan Edwards, but it's going to be 2nd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Moore throwing again on 2nd and 10.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Aguilar has him. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
It's complete, left side to Aguilar. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Out of the end zone.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone.
Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
More now. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked by Jeff Gladney.
And he is all the way up past the 25.
The 3rd down pass. Intercepted. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.